Hello, everyone. How's it going? Dr. Incompetent here, and let's resume our complete beginner's guide to Kenshi, shall we? Hot Longs is over here training it up. Meow is creeping over here so she can be sneaky and mine. And our main tutorial guy is researching indoor lighting, as you can see right here. Now, what I'm going to do is actually tell Tutorial Dude I'm going to click on his job and stop him from doing this, because I have a few things that I want to do. I'm going to pause it just to kind of like articulate our plan. So one plan that I think is worthwhile is, okay, to say I wouldn't mind just demonstrating to you all some light combat techniques for how to raise your combat skill. And we don't really have a big team. We're not super strong, but we could do that just to show you a way to raise your character's abilities in combat. All right. For example, look at this character that I've clicked on right here, walking around. This is Soto, and she's from the Tech Hunters. She has a 58 strength, a 38 dex, a 60 toughness, a 59 attack, and a 42 defense, compared to my character, who has, significantly less than that in every respect and would get destroyed. This character is also using, luckily, what kind of weapon does she have? It might be a katana, and it's just not what we want to see. Like, she is going to destroy us. So that's not a good fight for us. What we're looking to fight, if we wanted to, would be things like this, like we saw before, these starving bandits, because they're not going to play for keeps. You want something that's not going to play for keeps. Now, we'll keep our eyes peeled for anything to fight to explain that, but in the meantime, let's go ahead and research some more stuff so that I can show you how what I think is important to do at this point is just continue building your base inside the town and making money so that you can hire more people, buy more food, and then give them the right kind of equipment so you can better strengthen them up for combat, which will then allow you to potentially settle and build your own base outside the town and be able to defend it. If you build your own base right now, if you run out and try to build your own base, my understanding is that it will alert all factions within the area that you've done that. And what that means is that everyone will know where your place is and come and try to take it down. Now, my buddy Frankie was here, by the way. You can check him out on YouTube. He has an amazing amount of knowledge about Kenshi, and he was telling me that what you could do is build a small shack and then just see who comes and raids it. See how many people come, so you have a sense of, like, in your particular instance of the game, in your area, how much attention are you going to generate and who's going to come at you, so you know what kind of a force you need to defend it. That's one approach to doing it, and it doesn't put you out that much, like 5 building materials. But for me, I'm not really even ready to experiment or waste building materials. I'm just going to continue building our base. So we have 2 beds, which is perfect for our system. What you want, if you want to raise your combat, is to have one dedicated medic who is just going to hang back and not fight, and then try to run in and resuscitate your people or heal them so that they don't die, and then carry them back to a bed to rest in to recover. So you're going to need 2 beds for the 2 people that aren't the medic. If we get more people, we need more beds so that they can rest. Okay, you recover your health much better while resting, and it's just a great way to get people back up to speed once you've bandaged them. So in our case, Tutorial Dude has the medical supplies and would just hang back and not fight and heal people up. And our Sheks, who are much better at being warriors, would be out there fighting. Now, in the beginning of the game, you're not really so much fighting as much as you're getting your butt kicked. And getting your butt kicked might seem bad, but in Kenshi, it's just the way that you're going to get stronger. It raises your toughness to get destroyed in combat, provided you don't get so destroyed that you die or arms and legs get chopped off. So that's why we want to kind of go for the lower hanging fruit. But anyway, we'll look for that. But I'm going to take Tutorial Dude, and I'm going to go to the copper storage, and I'm just going to pick up all of this storage. I'm going to go to our regular storage, okay? You can see Tutorial Dude can barely move because it's so heavy. I'm going to put in these iron plates and these building materials into our storage. I don't need to carry this around for the time being, all right? Unless I want to boost up Tutorial Dude's strength, which is also something you can do. If you want to just load him up and run him back and forth, you can raise his strength, and you can also, train athletics if you are getting people with just running to do that. But I'm not doing that as much as I want to just make money. So I'm going to go to the adventure store over here, and I'm going to just speed it up slightly. I'm going to push F3 to do that. And Tutorial Dude's going to come in here, and I'm going to trade with this Scorchlander, and I'm going to be like, what's up, dude? Let's trade. And I'm going to pause the game, as always, when trading. Now, I'm going to just shift right-click my copper from my backpack, and you can see we've gone up to 2,800 money. Now, what we want to buy from this dude right now are just some research books, because it's important for us. I'm going to push T to open our research screen. Now, it's kind of hidden behind these other windows, so you have to click on it to just bring it to the foreground. We're researching indoor lighting, but I want to research tech level 2, okay? And we need to do that. We need 6 books to get tech level 2. If you ever upgrade your tech level, what this will allow you to do is build a better research bench within your base, and then research more sophisticated technologies. And so we want to start upping our tech level right now, okay? So that's something I want to do. So I know I need 6 books to do that. So I'm going to buy books 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, I bought 6 books. You can see they're expensive considering how much money I have. But remember, this is another Frankie tip. You can sell books. Notice how on the book it says value 234 cats and then sell value 234 cats. You can sell them back for the same price that you buy them for. So what this means is you won't lose money if you buy too many. So, you don't have buyer's remorse with research artifacts or books, all right? As far as everything else goes, I'm going to, I don't need to buy another first aid kit because this first aid kit is full on its charges. So you can see that below the first aid kit, there's this white bar. This indicates visually how many charges or uses you have out of it, but you can see on the tooltip, it has 1,000 charges, and I've used none of it. So this is plenty to heal people. I don't need to have more than these. You could consider buying a splint kit if you want to heal broken limbs, but if you're close to your base and somebody gets knocked out and gets an arm or a leg broken, as long as you can bandage them up so that they don't bleed out and put them in your bed, and that limb has not been destroyed so much that it falls off or is rendered useless permanently, then they will just heal their bone by resting, and you don't need a splint. A splint is better like if you're out in the field, you're far away from your base, and you need to like fix somebody's leg so that they can walk home or whatever. But in our case, I think we're fine. All right, so I've sold these books, and as always, I'm going to need to go to the bar and buy food, or at least see if there's food that's on sale. Right now, our food is fine, and what I mean by that is you need to consider how much food you actually have based on how much you eat per day. I haven't really broken this down yet, but let's just have a conversation about how much food we eat per day, okay? So our main character is, let me click on Tutorial Dude here. Okay, so Tutorial Dude, our main character, is not someone who eats an excessive amount. They eat the base amount, okay, because of their species background. But Sheks eat more than other species, they eat 1.25 times as much as the base amount, which is what Tutorial Dude eats, which is, if I'm getting the numbers correct, 40 nutrition units per day. Okay, so that number becomes important when I go over here and I interact with our good friend Bark, and I want to trade, and Bark is selling meat. Now the meat is worth 15 NU. I'm looking at the tooltip in the upper right. You can see nutrition, and over on the right it says 15 NU. That means I get 15 nutrition units every time I eat this. So Sheks are having to eat like 3 of these, a little more than 3 of these per day. It's not a lot at this point because I only have 2 Sheks. And my main character is eating about 3 of these per day. But it becomes problematic if you start just buying more and more Sheks from this town. And this vendor is only going to restock about 12 or so dried meat every day. So you can start to become in a situation where you eat more dried meat than they provide, and then you start having to buy something like a meat wrap, which a meat wrap is great because it's 50 nutrition units, and that'll feed the Shek for the whole day. But look at its cost. It's 667 cats versus the 66 cats for the dried meat. So if you scale this up, right, the dried meat is like around 200 cats for 50 with, like, you know, just really loose math, nutrition units, where this is like 3 times the price. Now, once you get to making enough money, that's not going to be a problem, but it is something to consider that I actually did this on my Let's Play, is I was making so much money that I started to grow my team beyond what I was capable of providing cheap food for. And so you need to scale up your money situation so you can buy enough food so that's not a problem, or get proficient enough at hunting animals to get meat that you can cook on your campfire. All right, so I'm going to just buy all of that, shift right click it, buy the food. Now, I'm also going to go over to the general store and buy some building materials. Okay, and we're going to just hop in and see what's for sale. And I'm going to see, show me what you got. And I want a lot of what they've got, right? I want some iron plates for sure, but I'm running out of money. So I'm going to buy 3 iron plates and just leave it at that. And then I'm going to bring Tutorial Dude back to the base. Now, Hot Longs, okay, is training on the dummy. Now, with this dummy, you can see that she's at 4 melee combat, so she's almost there. And what I mean by that is the training dummy as is, okay, that we have, it says it will take you to a max level of 5. Remember last episode I said there was a cap? With this Mark 1, if you look where it says training dummy in the bottom left panel, it says Mark 1, MK1, Mark 1, and that's like Model 1 basically. You can research better training dummies that will let you train to a higher cap. So you can have training dummies that will, like Mark 2, I believe, lets you go to 10 combat training. But for now, okay, this is only going to go to 5. So she's not going to be doing that very long. I'm going to push B to close the menu. But it just gives us a little bit of a boost, right? And once Tutorial Dude gets back here, I'm going to put him back on his job. And I'm going to go to the research bench, and I'm going to go to his inventory. And, oops, I need to go to Tutorial Dude. Sorry. I need to go to Tutorial Dude's inventory. I'm going to put all these books in here. Shift right-click the books into the research bench. I'm going to push T, and I want a tech level 2 to be researched. And here we go. And Tutorial Dude, go for it. I'm going to have him research, and he's going to get back on the job. I had turned off his job, which is why it was grayed out. I had Hot Long selected, which was the mistake. Now, even though this is her job, she's actually going to keep training because I gave that to her as an order before she does these jobs. But you'll see, once this maxes out, okay, she is going to try to boost this, but I do not believe she'll maybe get melee attack to like 99% of the way to level 5. And I'm going to speed the game up all the way and just let this happen. So you can see it's starting to move slower. And this is why some players just don't even bother with the training dummy, because it's, you know, not the best, but I want to have just enough so maybe I can get an extra hit in. Maybe we can take something down. And it's good to practice it just to show you it as a proof of concept. All right, we're mining it up here. And, okay, so check this out. We have found something. This is a pack of Garus, okay? So Garus are animals that we can try to fight, but there is a possibility that these Garus are going to try to kill us, even after we get knocked unconscious. What we're really looking for is something to pick a fight with that will leave us be once we have been knocked unconscious. But in the meantime, this is going to be fine. But what you want to do is save the game, okay? So I'm just going to push F5 to quick save the game, all right? And you can consider this how you want. You know, like you can even make another save where it's like, you know, about to die or something like that, so you know. And this is save scumming in a way, but I don't think it's really that problematic. You can have your own opinion on whether or not you want to do this, but I'm not saying you save every 2 seconds and you try to min-max until you win. But what I am saying is combat can go out of control, and your first few times it's going to be chaotic. So just save it so that if you get a really unfavorable outcome, you don't lose all your progress. Whenever you're going to like specifically look for a fight, it's a good idea to just save it. That's your first step. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select, okay, Meow. I'm going to turn off her job. And I'm going to select Hotlong and turn off her job. And I'm going to tell both of them to run to this location, okay? Now, this is going to be hard. And I'm also going to have Tutorial Dude run to this location as well. I'm going to turn off his job and have him run. All right, so we're just going to try to get everyone to meet over here. Now, these Garus are moving away, so we might not be able to catch them effectively. But in the meantime, I'm going to have Meow just go over here. I'm going to turn her off passive, okay? I'm going to turn her off sneak. And I'm just going to attack these Garus. Now, you'll notice how when I put my mouse over the Garu, the arrow is white. That means that these are neutral to me, like they are not aggressive to me right now. But if I right-click and I just say attack unprovoked, the bottom option, okay, I'm going to have Meow go over and do that. I'm going to unpause, okay? Now Meow has the 3 stripes behind her because she is engaged in combat. Now, these guys don't know that they're in combat yet. They're not aware of it. But I want to explain this. I talked to you guys about this last time, about how these 3 horizontal red stripes mean that like somebody is engaged in combat or in some kind of danger. But if I select Tutorial Dude, okay, oh, he's already there. If I select Hotlongs, oh, she's there too. Here, let me see if I can get this to trigger. No, it's not going to work until I get a little closer. All right, so I'm going to unpause it. And Meow's going over here to try to start a fight, but we might be too far away from them. If you get somebody who is in serious danger and they're like completely out of your field of view, and what I mean by that is like, let's say I was focusing on a character that was at the hub and I had a character that was at Squin or around Squin and was getting into a fight and was being attacked. In that case, the background behind them would turn like completely red. It would just be all red. And that's like the even higher alert warning message than the horizontal stripes. And what the full red means is like you have somebody who is in threat, who is not near your camera, not near where you're looking at right now, and you need to focus on them immediately. Right now, we're just getting this. Okay, so I'm going to have Hotlongs turn off passive as well, and I want her to run up and attack this unprovoked. So now she has the stripes because I've told her to attack. Now, tutorial dude, I'm going to have hang back. And I'm going to have him be our medic, like we talked about. He's got the medical supplies. Whoever you select as your medic, you want them to have a first aid kit of some kind, the better you can. I like the advanced one. And so they're going to hang back, and they're going to be in passive mode, which means that they won't attack. The other advantage of passive mode is that if the enemies see you, and even if you're like trying to be a medic, sometimes they won't even bother you because you're in passive, and they find that stance less threatening, and they might just de-aggro and keep walking away. You've got to keep your medic alive for this strategy to work. If everybody gets knocked out, you have a chance that your characters might bleed out or be unconscious in a coma, and slave traders might come by and capture you. And that's just all she wrote. So you need to keep somebody alive. Some players, once you get your team big enough, will just always have somebody inside the base in the town as like the emergency failsafe person that can come and try to rescue everyone. Or even if all of your people get killed, you have somebody so that it's not game over in your base, and then you can just hire new people. Okay? Remember, in Kenshi, as long as I have one person alive, I'm still going. I can still, come back from it. And what that means is, even if my main character, the person I started with, dies, as long as I have somebody, I can rebuild theoretically. All right? So that's why we're going to try to keep our medic alive. I'm going to unpause it, and Meow is like just sprinting up to these animals. And we're going to get our butts kicked. I mean, unquestionably by these animals, and we just hope that they don't kill us. So let's see where everybody else is. Tutorial dude's here. Hot Longs is trying to come in. All right, I'm going to zoom in, and we're going to turn around and just see this from the animal side, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit more. Okay, so here comes Meow. Let's see when these Garus notice it. I'm going to slow it down, actually, because now we're getting into combat. Okay, now, you see how this Garu has turned around. All right, this dude is like, what is going on? These animals, they might not look good, but they can be nasty. They can wreck you. So this is going to be an interesting education experience, which is why we saved it. Let's see if we can handle this. Notice that the Garu has turned red. The arrow now is red because they realize that we are fighting them. The other ones haven't got in on it yet, but now they are. Now they're all like, we are in on it, okay? And now notice if I move my camera too far away, you see how Meow's background has the stripes, but is also flashing full-on red? This is like high alert. Your person who is off of your current field of vision, or out of your current field of vision, is under threat. And I'm going to go to Meow, and let's just watch this play out, okay? Hot Longs is coming in. I'll have Tutorial Dude move up to here. And let's just go to Meow and see what happens. Okay, so Meow is fighting. Now, this guy is trying to attack us, okay? And here we go. We took the weapon out. We've been hit horribly, okay? So here's how you need to look at combat. There's a lot to say. The red numbers are damage taken, okay? So we got hit twice for 54. You saw Meow kind of like get bounced back and staggered. She got hit severely in her stomach and her left arm. You can look at Meow's vitals to kind of figure out what's going on. Now, head, stomach, and chest, as well as blood, are all critical areas, okay? What does that mean? That means if any of these get taken too low, we will get knocked out. So I'm going to push the up arrow on our stats panel, and I'm going to show you something where it says KO point. So this says when an injury to a body part goes below your KO point of -11. So that's where we're at right now, -11. If it goes below that point, you're down for good, okay? So you'll enter a coma, and you won't regain consciousness until all of these have healed above 0, okay? So that becomes more important once we actually get knocked out, because there's going to be a knockdown timer that you'll see appear in a moment, right? And our stomach is hit, and what we're just seeing is if, she can get a hit in. But take a look at this. Look at her toughness. It's already leveled up to 2. This is how you raise your toughness. It's by getting hit. It ain't pretty. Kenshi ain't pretty in this regard. You need to go get annihilated. But getting hit raises our toughness, which boosts our damage resistance, okay? Helps us with knockout time and helps us to stay up longer, all right? So it helps us not get staggered as easily and will help with our KO point. But let's just check this out. All right, she got hit again for 41 in her other leg, and she's trying. And then now, this Garu has seen Hotlongs and is coming at Hotlongs, okay? So let's just keep our medic back so that they don't get involved. And let's see if Meow can even manage to get a hit in. This was a great point that was also given to me on stream, which is that even if you have somebody who's really strong, fighting multiple enemies is really, really difficult in Kenshi because each one of them hits you and kind of has a chance to like stagger you a bit. So you're spending all of your time trying to block and you won't even get a swing in, right? Meow, I need Meow to just try to attack this target. She's trying to go hit the target that ran away. I need her to turn around and maybe try to take a swing, and she's down. Okay, so Meow has been knocked unconscious, and this is because her chest has gone so low that she has gotten knocked unconscious. So these, your chest, your stomach, and your head are critical areas. Blood also counts for this too. Like if you lose too much blood, you'll just pass out. So if any of these critical areas get taken too low, you're just going to pass out, okay? And now this unconscious timer is I'm knocked out for 128 turns. And when this 128 turns passes, then my KO point comes into play. And it's going to check my KO point, and it's going to say, is anything below negative 13? By the way, remember when we last looked at this? This was negative 11. Our KO point has already increased to negative 13 because our toughness, look at this, it's already up to 4 just by getting hit. So this is all you're doing, is you're trying to get hit to raise your toughness. Now, what we have to pray is that these Garu do not continue to hit us while we uncomfortably ragdoll down to the bottom, okay? So she's in bad shape, but she's not in the worst shape. She is bleeding a good amount. Now, you can tell how badly somebody is hurt or how badly they're bleeding by the amount of downward arrows that are on your bar. So she has 2 arrows going down for blood, which means she is losing blood. She needs medical attention. Her chest is bad, and it says it's slowly getting worse, but it's not getting so bad yet. If these get to a critical level of negative, then your character dies, your critical areas. So if this goes below a certain number, and I cannot recall if it's below 50 or below 100, but if these critical areas go below a certain level, then your character is just dead. So you don't want that to happen, which is why we have our medic. Now look at this. Hotlongs has gotten a hit of 11 she hit for 15 and she hit for 11, and now she is getting hit in herself. I'm going to switch to her, and she got hit in the leg, which means she's going to be able to stay up and fight, because legs won't knock you out unless you lose too much blood from arms or legs, but they can get rendered useless or chopped off, which you don't want. Although later in the game you can buy robotic replacement parts for arms and legs, which are actually stronger than your natural arms and legs, but that takes a lot of money and technology and things. We're not there, but we don't want that to happen right now. But look at Hotlongs. I'm going to push C to bring up her screen. She's raising her melee attack, right? She is also raising Katana, which is the weapon that she's using. So when she hits the enemy, she raises her Katana skill, okay? And she's also training melee, and she's training her toughness, okay, by being in combat, all right? And the other thing about this is that if you're working on the dummy, you're actually not training your weapon skill, you're only training melee skill. So this is a good way to do that. The reason she's getting hits in is because there's only one Garu currently attacking her. Meow got like all of them at once, which was just too much. I'm just going to let this play out. Okay. And she got another hit in. Look at that. And she's fighting, but now it's going to be bad. And she's knocked out. So she's unconscious because her leg was taken below 0. And she's just like reeling from the pain of that. But you see, it's only in 2. So she will actually get back up. Okay. When this ticks down and try to fight, I believe. But notice how most of these enemies are white, like they are no longer coming after us because we have been hurt so badly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell Hotlongs, okay, she's actually okay. So we can let her fight for a second. Let's just let this happen. And she is crippled, okay, because her leg is so hurt. And, oh, Tutorial Dude's running in to try to bandage her because he's a hero. And let's see. Hotlongs, I need you to just sneak and go passive, okay? And let's see what happens. Okay. Here's what's happening. Hilarious. Tutorial Dude's not actually coming to help her because she's not in dire circumstances, but Meow is. So, Tutorial Dude, I turned off his jobs, okay, and put him far away. But the thing is that Medic does not get turned off when you turn off jobs. It's still there. So he's rushing in to attend to Meow because Meow is in bad shape. And that's great. Now, luckily for us, okay, what has ended up happening is Tutorial Dude being in passive did not aggro these Garus. They're walking away. They're like, I'm not going to fight you. Now, when somebody gets knocked out, you can have them basically try to sneak and go passive to lay prone and kind of almost like play dead so the enemies will move past. And she's crawling. I don't know what she's doing right now. I'm going to just tell her to just stay still, like not do anything. Just move over here. Stop. What are you doing? Oh, she's hungry. So she's... I wonder... Well, she's going to go try to get food, but she's crawling with like a broken leg. All right, so let's just tell her to not do that right now. But that's fine. That's like just desperately sad that she's doing that. All right, so I'm going to have her move over here and be crawling on her like busted up leg. So look at this. This is just a grisly sight. Okay, so her leg's broken and she wants to get some food. Now, Tutorial Dude is over here mending. So let's take a look at this. Meow is getting fixed, okay? So Tutorial Dude is over here, and let's watch him bandage her up. He's working on her, and he's bandaging her. And you can see he's being a medic, and Meow, you see, look at this. Her chest is starting to fill back up. So what's going to happen is this white bar will fill up and cover up the red, all right? And this will start to stabilize her. It's at -21 at the moment, but once he gets done, okay, he's fixing up all of her stuff. He's fixing up her arms and her legs, and now her chest is still at -21, but what this means is if we go heal, then this white bar will get replaced with this normal colored kind of greenish brown bar to indicate that she is fully back to normal. But what we're going to do is just let Meow, he's done bandaging her, and once he's done with that, we're going to have Tutorial Dude go and apply first aid to Hotlongs. Oh, but he can't because, well, why can't he? Let's see. Here, you stop moving. And then you... Yeah, there he goes. Okay. I don't know why he wasn't. He just needed a second to kind of like think about that. Maybe because she was moving. I don't know. Now she's better. Look at this. She got up, and he's fixed her enough so that she can try to get around. All right? So he's fixing her up, and he's patching up her leg. Now, it's still busted horribly, but that's okay. So what we're going to do is let this experience just soak in. Now, it worked out. It might not look like it worked out, right? She's hungry. She passed out. Her leg almost got broken. But at the end of the day, what we did there was we trained our combat. And we worked on training our... look at Hot Longs. Her toughness went up to 2. Meow went up to 4. We're training all of these abilities, okay? We're training our katana skill, our melee attack skill, our melee defense skill. You see this went up as well, okay? So dodge was being trained very slightly. And so dodge, melee defense, melee attack, katanas, toughness, okay? All of these things are going up while you're fighting. So you get so much done while fighting, even if it's a bloodbath and you get annihilated, as long as you don't die. So Tutorial Dude is now done bandaging her. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to right-click on Meow with Tutorial Dude selected, and I'm going to say pick up, okay? And he's going to go Fireman's Carry Meow, all right? And then now, I'm going to tell Hot Longs, okay? I'm going to select Hot Longs, and I'm going to go back to our base, all right? I'm going to go back into town, and I'm going to go into our base. I'm going to look inside, and I'm going to tell everyone to come home, all right? So, unfortunately, let me come back. Let's see if I can actually look inside the house. It's a little bit difficult with nobody there. So I'm going to tell Hot Longs to come here, and I'm going to tell Tutorial Dude to come here. And you'll notice I'm going to select them. They're going to come. They're actually going to come in the front door. I'm going to tell Hot Longs to stop sneaking. That's not necessary. And she's like limping. She's like badly hurt on her poor leg, but it's been bandaged. It says your left leg is in the process of healing. Your movement speed is negatively affected. You won't be able to kick, right? But it's not getting worse. You see how stabilizing it with the medical kit, the first aid kit, has meant that it's low, but it's not getting any worse, okay? And that's good. Now, let's look in Tutorial Dude's backpack. I used 121 charges of my advanced first aid kit right there in that fight. And we had some serious injuries. You see how Meow is actually healing. Like, her chest is getting better. It's slowly getting better, even though she's being carried. Because all of the wounds have been treated, all of the down arrows are off. Over time, you see her blood going up. So just over time, your characters will heal, but if they're in a bed, they will heal at a faster rate, which is what I'm going to do right now, is tell them to just rest. So we got a great look at just a very, very brief combat. Here's a boss group of slave traders who are complete. I'd love to just wipe all the slave traders off the map, but unfortunately, they're just far too well equipped for us to deal with right now. So we need to make that a goal for later, is to just eliminate that entire faction from the game if possible. But we're going to run in here with Hot Longs and with Tutorial Dude. I'm going to speed the game up to F4. Just so I can show you this, okay? And once we get inside, the base opens up, and I'm going to tell Tutorial Dude, I'm going to push 1 to select him. I'm going to right-click on the bed, and I'm just going to say put in the bed. And he's going to go and set Meow in the bed. And now I'm going to have him walk over here off of her, and you can see she's just going to start recovering a lot faster in the bed. And I'm going to tell Hot Longs to right-click on the bed with Hot Longs selected. I'm going to say sleep in the bed. And this will just have them sleep until they're fully healed. Okay? And now, Tutorial Dude, I'm just going to put back on jobs, and he should start working again in a moment. Research none. Requirements. Oh, we have to research small house first. I thought we had to have a small house. I was like, what? No, we have to research this before we can get to tech level 2. So now he's going to come do that, and he's going to work on that. So we had to research this before we can get to tech level 2. But we're not going to be building a house. Now, Meow is eating, okay? So you can see she's got some blood on her. She's woken up, though. And she woke up because she's hungry and she's going to eat, but I'm actually going to tell her to go back to bed. I'm going to right-click on the bed, and I'm going to say sleep again, and she'll go back to sleep. And I'm going to have her just heal up. Now, you notice how her chest is now at 1, 2, 3. This number is reflecting the brown number that's filling up. Her healing rate is the kind of white. That's showing what the max can be. once she gets there, and it's eventually all of these whites are going to fall off as she fully recovers from getting beat down. And Hotlongs is, bravely limping back to base. Her leg is even healing in this process, okay? And she's going to start resting and be fine. And you see how we got into a fight, we got wrecked, but after some rest, like of just a day, everybody's going to be back on it and ready to go again. And this is how you're going to start training your combat early. You don't really have to do this at this point if you don't want to. I just wanted to show you how it was done so you could see you take a medic, you save the game first. First step, save the game. Second step, get a medic out there, and then just have people attack a group of enemies that you can handle. Starving bandits, animals, whatever it might be. Okay? There's a starving bandit who tried to attack. If you do take down an animal, all right, we did not, okay? But if you can take down an animal, remember to loot it. It has hide, leather, food, things that you can sell, things that you can cook for food on it, which is great, all right? Let me go back over here. We're done researching that. And we can't actually research tech level 2. Oh, no, yeah, we can. Go ahead, do it. Did you finish it? There you go. I'll put that back in the queue. It couldn't actually go into the queue because we didn't have the prereq met. Now we're going back to tech level 2. So we're doing that. And you can see Meow is resting up well. And her chest is... Everything is healed except her chest. And Hotlongs, even her leg is getting better. Now you can see it just says your left leg is in the process of healing, which means that she won't even have a limp anymore. So we didn't need a splint. We just needed some time and some bandages, and we're getting there. So everyone, I hope you enjoyed this episode. We're like learning about doing some more advanced research, and I wanted to really, really show you some of the combat and explain things. We'll go over combat and explain it more as we progress, but this was just a first look at how you might do this if you wanted to just know the very basic beginnings of combat so that you could level up if you're interested. But honestly, I recommend just working on making more money right now and getting more people on our crew. That's going to help us mine some more spots, make some more money, and start doing some more things so that we're ready for a little bit more combat proper. But the beautiful thing of Kenshi is you can do anything and you want. Do whatever order feels right for you. Do whatever is fun for you. Even if it's not optimal, you can experiment and try it. And so now that you are, you've seen some more combat, if you want to do that, jump into that, go for it. Level yourself up, make your character stronger, and then you can actually start hunting for food and maybe taking down some, small groups of bandits, getting yourself stronger, and having fun with the game. Everyone, thank you so much for watching. I hope you're still enjoying and learning from these episodes. Take care.